Access granted.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Draconis Expanse. I'm currently piloting Hand of Josh out near the edge of the system. And we have a very important mission today. So over the course of the last week or so, we have been fighting over a MCRN ship named Icaria Planum in order to get the first heavy railguns on the server. And while BCG did not make the difference of winning, we contributed significantly. And it was great. It was a super fun event. Along with fighting suits inside of a ship, there was also a lot of ship combat outside. And Candor's beautiful, wonderful, very powerful torpedo cruiser was cruelly ambushed after a server crash wherein he was unable to reconnect, and so it took some severe damage. But, just like Enterprise CV-6 in World War II, she lived.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go get her, and we're going to go repair her, and we're going to post a captain's log about it, because that's what you do. Yeah. Ken, are you still having connection issues?
Indeed I am.
This is very frustrating.
Same here.
So, I was able to get through things by... I actually had to verify my files. I know, Candor, you did that already. You basically have to force it to re-download the mods, and then it seems to fix it.
The only thing that seems to work for me is fully signing out of Steam, closing Steam, and then re-logging back in.
Have you tried that particular method yet, Candor?
Yep.
Awesome.
I did manage to briefly get back in, and then DX2 was in such a terrible state that I went to respawn, and then nothing was showing up in the spawn list.
Awesome.
So I thought, well, I'm going to have to reconnect. So reconnected and couldn't get back in.
And Hellebore's in your hangar, isn't she?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, we'll get close to where she's supposed to be. and then we'll see what happens at that point.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm currently approaching the planet. How's everybody's week's been?
Good, mate.
Oh,
It's been alright. I've been bug hunting on this mod I was working on. Got it to work for the most part, so we'll see what everyone else posts bug reports on.
That's good.
Probably the most frustrating part of my week was tracking down claims that purchases were not working on Facebook and figuring out that it is none of our code. Literally debugging live servers, finding out nothing's going on. It's Facebook has a problem. They've had a bug since late August, and they just didn't tell anyone about it.
Oh, good. That's, I mean, that sounds like Facebook, honestly. Information goes in and only misinformation comes out.
Yeah, there's a reason we're trying to direct everyone away from that platform.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Cynical. Hey, Chaotic Serenity. I am 89 kilometers from Hellebore's location. Evening. I don't know if Nabarine's going to be joining us tonight. She has started the hunt at the local farm that does the scaring stuff. She did makeup artistry and stuff last year for them. And they did not even interview her this time. They were just like, yeah, you're hired. Because it's basically a temp job. But yeah, they were just like, yep, we remember you. You're coming in. We do not want to lose you. Please stay. So that's pretty cool. And the other neat thing is, so their casting director for all the Zambles and scaring people and all that is this is his last year. And she was like, hey, I've got all of the background for this. Would you want to hire me for that? And they were like, oh, really? So next year she might hire in as the casting director, which makes significantly more money. It's still seasonal, but it would start earlier and go a little longer, and she'd make more, which is really neat.
Nice.
But right now she's off it's the orientation night, so they're all just basically team bonding and painting faces and being ridiculous, because turns out when it's like a Halloween-centric event like this, it's one of those things where it kind of attracts the, for lack of a better term, the weirdos. You know, not meaning that in a...
The theatre kids.
Yeah, they're theater kids. But they're the theater kids that were in the back. The ones that have like the best sense of humor, but you're not sure if they're joking or not. But yeah, they're it's all those. So she's getting to, you know, play with her people. I'm not jealous at all that she's playing with a bunch of theater kids. Immoral Bites in chat says, hey, I resemble that remark. Here's hoping Josh lets you in, Candor. 40 kilometers away. I'm going to begin a slow deceleration.
Two minutes of Steamworks common redistribution patching going on.
I mean,
And I can give it another go.
there we go. We need to get you on a fiber connection, sir.
Oh, to be fair, it's downloading pretty fast. It's just the rest of it that's taking a hot minute.
No, I mean like your brain on a fiber connection. Just plug it directly into you. We have access to Candor whenever we want. What? It's all ships in here. Always has been.
I'm still having trouble logging in.
Have you tried the fix that's pinned in the Draconis Expanse Discord? So if you go to the Starboard, Alpha Matt posted something about how to fix the issues. That's the guide I followed to get mine to work.
This hunter is really the epitome of function over form.
Yep. I was designing and designing and designing and designing and designing, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even having fun building this ship anymore. After like the 9th time building something, and I was like, I just want the components so I can build the ships I want to build. And so I was like, fine, if this works, it works. I'll just use this one.
Yeah, get the components. I've been ruminating on the idea of taking the ice faller design that we have with its kind of 3 big nacelles off the back and seeing if I chop it up and make a hunter out of it.
Oh, that could be interesting. Replace just a bunch of the cargo containers with reactors.
Basically, the entire center spine would be reactors and then weapons bolted around. Would be very belter.
Yes. The big thing is to hunt the ships now, you basically have to drive tank, which I really honestly hate, because I thought it was way more fun when it wasn't quite so challenging to get close to the NPCs. You could blow away the other NPCs with, you know, a bunch of torpedoes and then focus on the cruiser, and you could either torpedo it into submission or dodge rails and dodge rails and dodge rails until you hurt it, and then you kill its power and go eat it.
Yeah, that was a little more interesting. The central drive on that ice hauler is a cami.
Oh, perfect. So it's already set up. I'm 12 kilometers from Hellebore. I will begin building a sprue with a merge block on the tip. Hand of Josh showing her space tug roots here. I don't even know how many rock hoppers I've pulled out of Ceres and Tycho and Vesta with this thing. Not Ceres anymore, but and I must have missed it in the books that Pallas was a rock, because I always thought it was just like a void station for some reason, like Tycho, when I was reading the books.
You know, I never read any of the books or watched any of the shows.
Oh, well, you should definitely do that. Super fun. Some of the best science fiction you will ever consume. I'm a little bit of a science fiction snob, so I do not say that lightly. Well, it's going all right. That the guy? 4 kilometers. I'm gonna come to a stop soon.
So you've seen Picard, right?
It's terrible.
Trust me, season 3 is actually the best season.
Yeah,
for it.
it's also terrible. The only reason people think it's good is because it's not as bad as the first 2 seasons.
Which, unfortunately, says a lot.
I would rather watch season 1 of TNG than Picard. Okay, I'm holding station on Hellebore's quantum emergence point at about 1.5 kilometers. I am now going to go outside and build me some merge blocky goodness. This must be off. Light. Yeah, and then a merge block. Ship of that. Yeah, Robert. I don't mess around with scripts too much because I've never been a programmer, and so they're alien to me, so I don't like them. Plus, I like flying my spaceship on my own. I don't mind sorting things on my own. All right, merge block schnoz complete. I need to check and see if this thing's still got a... I think I might still have a stabilizer on it, and if I cut that off, it's going to be much faster. It does. Where are you, stabilizer? Where did I tuck you? No, no. I think it's behind one of these things in here. Tucked into here. Mr. Stabilizer. No. There's the beacon. Projector. Aha. Oh, right. Seamless kills that. I'll just be busily cutting my stabilizer off while I wait. You can tell how old my ship is from the fact that I have a stabilizer.
Inventory full.
VSF has joined the alliance. Why do I know VSF?
Sounds familiar.
It does. On the plus side, cutting down the stabilizer is going to take ages. So that's going to give Candor plenty of time to log in. Does Hellebore still have torpedoes on board?
Some, yes.
I might borrow some if she has some docking ports available. I don't know. Her conveyors are probably all shot, so maybe never mind. Sort of or not sort of Josh. Rest in peace, sort of Josh. Well, not rest in peace. She's a museum now. She belongs in a museum. Not going to make the same mistake the United States Navy and the Royal Navy made with so many ships and not making them into museums. Still boggles my mind that they didn't save Warspite. Like, out of any ship in the fleet from World War I and World War II, Warspite was like, that is the ship you should save.
Yep.
At least they didn't save any of the shoe-shaped ones. I mean, you have to agree, no matter what the benefits are of their all-forward armament, looks goofy, and the ships are not very good looking. They look like clogs.
Don't know what you mean.
136 superconductors at a time. Someday I will grind this Epstein stabilizer down. think I'm halfway there. Living on a prayer. Something like that.
Inventory full.
So work was interesting for me today. So in my workplace, the labor is all out on a work stoppage. They did not like the contract the company offered them. And so me being someone who supports said labor force, but is not a part of that union, I had literally nothing to do. But they still wanted me to come in. And they're like, we have some projects for you. And I was like, okay, what are these projects? My manager's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Today's a planning day. I was like, okay, message received. Don't do anything yet, because we don't know how long we're going to need to stretch this stuff out. It's like, could you just furlough me? Like, I would almost prefer that, because then I get unemployment and then I don't have to go to work. Oh no. Now I've done it.
Inventory full.
Okay, now I'm just waiting for Steam to just download the mods for the server.
Mm-hmm. You and Candor both. Yep. Exactly that. Then we'll be one big happy BCG.
Of course, you know what don't you?
What? Sorry?
You know what it's caused this, don't you? The weapon core update that got pushed a few hours ago.
Oh, so we need to blame BD?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm hearing. Blame BD. BD Weapon Core broke everything, and we should all probably move back to vanilla, right? Especially on this server.
So,
And Nerif, if you're watching this later, that was sarcasm. Don't cheer. Sorry, go ahead, Blue Set.
I was going to say, so we're going to do a wrong way series instead, huh?
The wrong way to play. The rumor is Splitsy's doing another wrong way series.
Yeah, I saw that at the end of his 100th assertive acquisition video that he's going to do a wrong way out.
Cool. Sounds like having to get out of cave systems without being able to use drills.
Interesting. If everything is voxel hand.
No, I mean no voxel. I think they have to find other ways to do it. I don't know. I know nothing. I have no inside information. That's just my thought.
Yeah, but just imagine claim drives to get out.
Through voxels.
Why not? What could go wrong?
But yeah, I don't know. I honestly, my second favorite series I've ever been a part of was Wrong Way Up. I had so much fun flying airplanes, shooting down other airplanes, making a folding top hat that turned into a aircraft carrier on top of a car.
TFE landing that awesome 1 in a million shot of just destroying the rover.
That wasn't TFE. I think that was Jexum fired that.
It's still awesome 1 in a million.
Oh, it hit a hydrogen tank and it blew up the entire front rover. He hit 30 minutes.
He hit the cargo container that had all the ammunition.
And the chain reaction blew all the hydrogen as well. Not 30 minutes after I had said to Splitsy, maybe we should put those. Actually, it might have been the previous episode. Maybe we should put these hydrogen tanks like down below underneath an armor belt where they're not going to get hit. Nah, it'll be fine. They're protected.
Oh yeah, and that person would. So I should just do exactly that.
No, they weren't trying. They weren't trying to blow up the rover. So there were rules of engagement. They weren't supposed to wipe us ever, right? They were supposed to just make it harder for us.
But Splitsy did purposely put the cockpit in front of the cargo containers that were meant to explode.
Hmm.
I'm not convinced anything about the construction of that was on purpose.
The only on purpose part was that it was on many wheels. Are there still
So many
superconductors down
wheels,
there?
and him altering the gravity and size of the place. Of course, that was necessary.
I don't think so.
I enjoyed the part where they fell onto a different planet.
Yeah, that was. I didn't
That
know
you
that
could
was going to
blame.
happen. I thought there was going to be like a ground transition, and all of a sudden we were in the air. I'm like,
That one you could blame Splitsy because he actually went, "Oh, I'm just going to start moving because an enemy craft is coming near us," and not pay attention.
That sounds like Splitsy. All right.
As
Well,
a viewer, it was very cool to watch.
oh yeah, I'm sure. It was. I felt so privileged to be able to play on that. It was just so much fun. Except for one episode where I got super salty about everything.
Oh yeah, because
That doesn't
it was
sound like
somehow
me,
on.
friend.
Yeah, because it was somehow on Splitsy's Survival Impossible alien planet.
Not somehow. He did that on purpose. How goes the connection battle, gents?
Well, I'm in. Just about to pop into Medina Station.
5 minutes on downloading the mods again.
Well,
Which I think is like the 4th time I've downloaded.
Hmm.
The ship looks like it's missing 2 coils.
What, mine?
No, sorry, the Hunter that you were building.
Oh, yes, it is. So it's a max PCU build, just about. So he's got a 2-stage projection. So the first stage, you build that, what you see. And then the second stage, you project onto itself and build the other 2 coils.
Well, I've got as much as I can built for it. It's up to 40% fuel, and I'm transferring it over to... I'm going to transfer to Joshua first, or Vanguard, and grab some stuff, and then I'll move to Alwaha.
Yeah. Joshua Haha probably has more fuel than just about anything. I think he's got so much fuel on board.
Maybe. There was a rather catastrophic destruction of like half of it.
What? How'd that happen?
Unclear.
Somebody would either had to attack it or ram it, because she's got 8 OPA PDCs to destroy things that might be shooting at her.
I don't remember seeing any PDCs on it.
There were 8
everything-
OPA PDCs unless somebody took them off.
Yeah, everything aft of the refineries was completely missing.
Wow. Well, if all the PDCs were gone, no, they're set to target biologicals. Unless somebody took
My
the ammo out
theory
of
is
it.
someone smashed into it and doesn't want to own up to it, or somebody was off slightly away from it and dragged a TTU close.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, because nothing would be there at all if a player had found it.
No, and TTU goes no closer than about 10 or 12k from any point that you are, but if you're not at Joshua, you're a little ways away, then it could vector past it.
You mean like a giant unneeded shipyard 12 kilometers away or 15 kilometers away, just sitting there for no reason?
Sort of like that.
Something like that.
It's fine. Joshua was put there as a noob base. Nothing in it is critical.
Yeah, I know nothing in it is critical, but it's convenient for me. It's kind of on my way places, so I use it for fuel.
That Vanguard's nearby. I can make sure that's out a little bit more, and it has tons of station tanks.
Well, I mean, you keep it in the faction hangar anyway, so
Yeah, you can pull it out whenever you need it.
I love having the faction hangar. It's such a good thing. Hang on. I'll be right back because I'm hearing wailing kids. Let's see, where is this? It's tab, this button.
Well, I'm finally getting in.
Lucky you.
Well, since I'll be in a rock hopper, do y'all want me to mine something while I'm out here before coming in?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Sounds like Trishula needed some copper.
And ice as well.
Okay, I'm back. I hear upset daughter noises go out there. My daughter is not wearing any clothing. And I'm like, what's going on? And I talked to one of the boys who was supposed to be keeping an eye on her, because they're responsible enough to do that and to call my attention to things that need to be called attention to. And he was like, what happened? And he's out there playing the computer. And I'm like, nope, we're turning that off. She spilled half a glass of water on her dress and decided that it was better to be naked than to be dead. So
Yeah, that's pretty kid logic there.
I was like, you're gonna have to put that back on. I'm sorry. She's like, okay, Dad. I'm like, it'll dry off faster if you're in it, so. Oh. Okay. So if this doesn't work this time, Candor, I don't know. Maybe I'll go finish up I believe I called it, I don't remember, vendor something.
Oh, nobody breathe. Nobody speak its name out loud.
So Mavilite, with those connection issues, that's something entirely on the Steam side, right? As far as you folks can tell? I know it's hard to pin stuff down, but I've never really had a problem connecting to DX ever until this last week or so. Do you think all the Steam issues are being caused by, the Russians scanning all the internet lines and they're just pinging the sonar so hard it's like kinking the internet, and so the ones and zeros get stuck in the cables?
And I hope so, so that way we have somebody to blame.
I mean, at this point, blame Russia is a good bet. I mean, flip a coin.
Either that or that one CloudStrike intern has uploaded another file full of zeros.
Mm-hmm. How big is that antenna? That's nice and small. If I keep on making up quotes for Josh ships, because all of my ships have an antenna that have like a Josh themed quote, eventually I'm just going to have an entire book of Josh scripture from antennas.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing at all.
Okay.
We still have to find that one guy who claims to be of the Church of Josh, but keeps on telling people to give him money so he can give them stuff. I'm like, no. We're not going pre-Reformation Catholicism here. We're just trying to have some fun on the internet, guy. So I want to donate, the 10 billion he's asking for to him, but I want to do it in denominations of, seconds per fire of Hellebore.
Absolutely.
Robert, there's no other way to do it to base international internet traffic. You can't put it in the air because storms will disrupt it.
Stand by. So I can only see DX2 spawns. So I'm going to load in Hellebore. That's the very first thing I do.
Okay. There she is. I've got her. Oh, she looks very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But she lived.
I know, right?
Now, do you think that they took mercy on you not being there? Or do you think they're just really bad at killing ships that have no pilot?
I can only assume. Now, granted, they were actively shooting, and one of them happened to go, "Oh, skill issue," when I said that about the connection thing. But I think it would be hubris to assume that it wasn't deliberate. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, I'm still quite impressed with how well she stood up, considering she's not really supposed to be tanky.
No.
I'm not convinced that they tried to kill things all the way dead, because that person that was chasing my ship, that hopeful Karen, they only blew off all the Epsteins and caused it to fragment, and then they left it alone.
Well, usually, so in combat, if a ship starts to fragment a lot, usually it's done.
He was very dead. I think there's almost no power left, but I was able to hanger both of the railguns.
So you just have railguns hangered?
I mean, railguns attached to a lot of other blocks, but yes.
I love it. I mean, we could probably pick those up while we're out here, too. That's going to be reasonably nearby to this.
It'll be reasonably nearby, but they are both traveling, and I am unconvinced they have beacons.
True.
So I'd have to spawn them, match speed, stop ship, do all that stuff.
You got a good, like,
cleanness.
60% of Hellebore here.
I know, right?
I'm just gonna build a merge block on her nose and connect. Oh, there you are, Candor. Hello, sir.
Hello. I was about to say, oh, bear in mind Epstein's, and then I thought, actually, no, she doesn't have any left. So
Yep, that's why I don't care.
makes
This
things
is
easy.
I'm just looking at a flat spot right about here. And if you pull if you pull bits out of Josh, you can. You could put a merge block right in front of that. Those are off. I can turn them on. Hang on. There, you should be able to pull from them now.
Well, I think you just found your next quote.
What?
And lo, if you pull butts from Josh. So there's the next quote.
Mavlight says a lot of that damages me. DX6 crashed when it came back up. I had thrusted well across the zone and you were right on top of me. Sorry.
That's alright. These things happen.
You mean it wasn't all Lazy Sammy?
Oh no, there were two of them. The brief thing before the server restart booted me back out again was I definitely saw two.
Since I'm out here, is there anything you need me to look for before I come over to Joshua?
Hang on a minute, that looks like the merge block's off.
It does look like it's off.
Now we're drifting.
I'm
Merge block is on.
I'm dampered. Ooh! Why did that happen? Why did that happen? Oh, do you have a rotor on that?
No.
You should set one of them station if you're going to merge them. Otherwise, weird things can happen.
Okay, that's what's happening. You want to fix ship her and set it to station? I've successfully merged to ships before, but that was bizarre. The merge blocks were like inside each other, and then suddenly yours was off, and then my ship started jittering around.
That wasn't what was on my screen. Do you have the thingy plug-in?
The thingy plug-in? No. I keep forgetting to get it. But I have a rotor on this thing. Should. Yeah, I got a rotor.
Does it actually have a head at the moment?
Let me check.
Because I've noticed that with a few like legacy ones I had on some ships where I just found they would fall off.
Ah, it had fallen off. Oop.
There we go.
Oh, look, there's damage. Let's see if I can do it. Nope, you're going to have to do it. We are now Midnight Hellebore. We have become Midnight Hellebore.
I mean, hey, it continues the narrative that she hasn't actually been lost. You know, there is still a critical Midnight Hellebore.
Well, there is. Okay. You going to ride aboard her or aboard Josh?
Sure, I'll go into the emergency cockpit. Which I probably shouldn't go in with a beacon on stream, because it'll tell everyone where it is, but never mind.
Someone else is using the ship.
Ah, never mind.
I have a couch aboard Josh. Slowly rotating about. Pointing the stern and bow at Uranus, and then we're going to get out of here. And what I may do is once you're aboard and we're underway, I may let you do the flying to Al-Waha just for the sake of everyone's sanity. She lived. We've got her. Oh, even one of your coils survived too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Of course, people are getting a good look at her insides, but I don't.
It's nothing too exciting.
I know it's not some huge, crazy, game-changing ship. It's just this ship gets rid of torpedoes we have on hand. It also gets rid of enemies.
Surplus torpedo delivery system.
We measure money in seconds of Hellebore fire these days. Are two of my Epsteins off?
Not on my screen.
You're firing mostly 220s with that, aren't you?
Out of the Zeus's, yes.
So,
I mean,
4 torpedo chips per 220?
Yep.
So all the torp chips that I bought for 2.7 billion is about 500 torpedoes. How long is that going to fire out of her?
What, 2 minutes?
You say 500 torpedoes?
Yes, 500.
I want to say it's about 2 minutes of fire. Maybe 2.5. If you think that's bad, Baobab is even worse.
I don't think it's bad. I just find it curious because that maths to roughly 1 billion per minute.
Sounds about right. Depends on sim speed. That is true, Mavelite. Hand of Josh saving the day again. Who did I save? I saved somebody. It was off stream. I think it was a JSO person. Maybe? They'd run out of fuel. And I was like, don't sweat it. I've got a ship with lots of fuel. So I got a Tycho tank on this thing.
So that would be just under 14 salvos, which would be 9 torpedoes times by 2 seconds.
I think Hellebore's biggest flaw is she doesn't have enough magazine space.
Oh, I did upgrade it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
So that's the most expensive. That's the only real expense out of this. Is she had a pretty much full set of magazines when she got jumped.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's still about 400 torpedoes in there, but
Mavalite says, Josh reaches out and heals those needing shade from the harsh, cruel world. I love it. I love it, Mavalite. I'm taking screenshots so we can do a captain's log later. I'm going to let you do it, Candor, since it's your ship we're saving. And also, I like reading your captain's logs more than I like writing my own. I wish space engineers didn't need all the grids to be deleted all the time. That didn't affect performance as much as it does, because I would love to just take this ship in and scour battlefields and just salvage all the wrecks. Oh, congratulations, Aldar. Aldare? Aldare? One of those. One of those is your name. Just bought MCRN advanced components from the Rebel fleet, off to get new ship built with stilettos and get away from Zakos. That's always a good feeling. Okay, Candor, I relinquish the thing to you. The cool thing is jumping works because we're under thrust. I'll just sit on the couch here. I've always thought Hand of Josh looks more impressive in the proper orientation, where, you know, you're looking up.
Yes.
Because you really get kind of the oil rig feel, and that's what I was going for. It was just like, what if an oil platform could fly? Old Dare. Alright. Old Dare. I don't know if it's Dare or Dare. Sorry. I am part Irish. I have never learned any Irish speaky stuff. All I know is that I'm not short and I don't drink, so the Irish did not stick very well. I'm also dark-skinned and have black hair. My last name is Scottish, and I look like I'm from the Middle East. It's one of those things where people go like, "Oh, hey, where are you from?" And I go, I'm from," and I say the name of my town here in Washington. And they're like, no. Where were you born? I go, Colorado? No. Where's your family from? Various parts around the United States. Like, I'm like fourth generation American.
Do you know what the really funny thing is? I've had that too.
Well, yeah, but it's much more of a thing over there, because if you're from the wrong town, then nobody is allowed to talk to you or something like that.
I suppose.
I don't think anyone hates Caucasian people so much as British people do. Like, and only British and French people. Like, that's it.
I mean, why do you think we went all over the world? It was to get away from each other.
We conquered all these places because we didn't want to stay at home and look at each other's faces.
Yes.
I did a good job with the lighting on this thing too. I like how it's all centrally lit, but still gets all the cool shadows. I gotta spend some time. I am working on a Higaran battle cruiser, Higaran destroyer coil boat. And I'm super excited because I've got the shape mostly right. And it's not going to be perfect because it's Space Engineers and I have to scale it for the engines I'm using. But I'm going to build it on the server and it shouldn't be too expensive. So I just have this vision of us showing up one day and just like 4 or 5 Higaran destroyers and being like, "What's up?"
Mm-hmm.
That would be hilarious. I do think that Hand of Josh's belter aesthetic is something that I'd love to see more of on the server. It seems like everybody has just decided to build the cone-shaped ship.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the real reason I went with this ship, right, this particular shape, is this ship was designed initially to pluck ships off of Ceres or Vesta and fly them out of the instance. So she's got a mag plate in the middle. She's got mag plates on the tails. She's got her thrusters spaced widely enough to where a rock hopper can sit between them without being vaporized in the plume of the thrust. And then she's got serious RCS power in order to prevent falling out of the weak gravity and being able to lift a rock hopper on RCS and be able to muscle things around. Like this form, like the oil rig thing came after I started kind of building a little bit and I was like, oh hey, it kind of looks, oh, you know what would be cool, and then I just leaned into it. But a lot of this is just form following function. And then I was like, oh, I need a grinder arm instead of, because this used to be on the left here, that used to be the grav siphon. I'd grind it down by hand. But now that we've got amazing grinders, I just do that. And then there was place for a coil when coils released. I was like, I'll give her a little more teeth. And she hunts and kills TTU quite easily. And she's got enough cargo space to where, like, if I lost everything but Hand of Josh, I'd be all right. I could recover.
I think the hunting of TTU is one of the best parts for making that possible. You don't really have to mine if you just go kill them, disassemble packages, and use their comps.
Yeah. I mean, I do not like to mine. Like, mining is my least favorite part of Space Engineers in general. And I love that I can mine ships.
Yeah, I don't mind mining ice because you can't really go wrong on an ice droid. Everything you grab is ice. But getting those little pockets of the thing you're looking for buried in some craggy voxel hole sucks.
Yeah, I agree.
See, I don't need to mine nearly as much because I'm no longer doing packages like I was doing a year ago, but I didn't find it nearly so bad. But I think that's because...
It's because what?
Because I've got my freighter hooked up, so I can just basically drill everything in the vicinity of the deposit and then dock, and it spits all the stone out and does it that way.
Fair enough.
That would make it better.
Especially now I've got the inner drills. It was a little fiddly because the miner design I was using could almost dig a hole big enough for itself with the ramshackle drills, but then I say when I got the inner ones, they're just that little bit bigger.
Yeah. Can I say, Candor, it is a pleasure to actually have you with us on one of these evening streams. It's good. It's good to have you back in the belt on the content.
Mm-hmm.
I know the timing of the stream is not optimal for, you being alive on Saturday, but...
No, that's alright. I tend to use it to clear my sleep debt anyway.
Mm-hmm. See, that the clearing sleep that thing never works for me. I just sleep too much and then I'm still tired.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know if it works for everyone. So I have heard it. Sorry, I also have a cough at the moment. Hence my comment about you nearly killing me earlier.
Oh, yes. As you reach into Josh for butts.
Yeah, so apparently the sleep debt isn't a thing, according to somewhere I heard it, but I don't know, it still seems to work for me, but I can also, maybe it's placebo.
Mavelite, Candor does not play from a pub, although that would be entertaining, because we might occasionally hear the bar brawl in the background. I
am the bar brawl.
He is the bar brawl. He lives with a fair few people, and there is not enough space in his in the space he has privately to himself, so he sets up in a communal area so he can play on the desktop rather than on the Steam Deck.
And also it's just a bit nicer to be, not shut in a little room.
You don't want to be locked away in a small room on the second floor or something of a property.
I know, right?
Or, yeah.
I wasn't initially going there, but yes.
I mean, I'm in an attic, so...
Well, yeah, but you belong there.
You don't know that.
Yeah, I do. I know everything.
A nicely built up attic is one of my favorite places. If it's got a reading nook, I'm done.
I have been in some attic spaces that were pretty cool, but attic has a bad connotation for me because when I was 13, 14, I helped re-insulate the attic of my house. It was my parents' house, obviously. And I never want to go into an attic again. When we bought this house, I just opened up the attic, stuck my head in, went, "It's good," and went back out. Nope, don't want it, don't like it.
Yeah, this is a finished attic, so it's nice.
That's good.
I actually got the one furthest away from everyone else sleeping, so that way if I'm a little bit loud, they won't actually wake up to it.
Yeah, I mean, we put the office downstairs in our house because, well, we were using one of the bedrooms upstairs, then we had another kid. And so we currently have 4 kids in a 4-bedroom house. So that is not enough bedrooms. So the 2 middle kids, the 2 middle boys, share a room. The oldest boy, who's on the autistic spectrum, has his own room because it's better for him to have his own space. And then the girl has her own space. And she moved into what was the office. And then we had a little piano room downstairs, which I had a door put on it. I would say I put a door on it, but no, I bought a door to put on it, found out it wasn't pre-hung, contacted a friend I knew from church, hey man, I know you can do stuff like this, how much do I have to pay you to help me put a door on? And he was like, $100. And I paid him almost $300 because he was there all day. And I think he would have been there for less time if I hadn't been helping so much. So, but got the doors put on. They're still not painted. That was almost 2 years ago now. But they're white and they look fine. And now we have a really nice little office here that's just big enough for us to do our thing. And it added value to the house because it's a bonus room with doors, which means it's an office / it's not a bedroom because it doesn't have a closet, but could be used as one in a pinch. It's very small. It's 10 by 11. So it would be here's your cot, here's your dresser, good luck.
That's hilarious. That's almost exactly the opposite experience I had in putting in an office into our basement recently. Went to go and cut open the wall, which is a main bearing wall for the house, thinking, oh my god, this thing has a small footer on it. It's got a 6-inch concrete footer. I'm gonna have to rent a saw, cut open a gap. Nope, I open up the wall, there had been a door there before.
Oh, nice.
It's So I literally moved my plan over 6 inches, took the 30-inch door back and got a 28-inch door, and was done.
Perfect. Yeah, this was the gap that was there was set up so that French doors could be installed into it. It was just when the builder built it, this house didn't get that option because it was being built as a rental, not for one of the people that was buying it, because I live in, modern suburbia, and well, we all know how that goes. But so once I knocked the drywall out of the area, the door fit perfectly. It was just that it said it was pre-hung on Amazon. It said pre-hung French doors. Got it.
That's the name of the designer.
Came in a box. Not pre-hung. Not drilled for anything. I was like, I don't have enough tools for all this. But fortunately, my friend Lance did, and he helped me out. Solid guy. So, Candor, you technically don't have to make the derelict first if you eat rock hoppers all the time.
I know, but
You just roll around the center of like E1, M1, T1. You will never stop eating rock hoppers. It's free money. Rock hoppers are free. The government doesn't want you to know this, but you can just pick them up anywhere at any asteroid belt.
I prefer free-range rock hoppers because you could just eat them in place versus the ones at trade stations that you have to sit and wait for 30 minutes.
Yeah. It used to be 20, and I liked it better then. Someone must have complained. That's how that works. Gotta ruin a good thing, right?
indeed.
Oh, good. Hulu pricing is increasing. Good. Well, I guess I'm canceling that. T-Mobile pays for it now, but I was considering going with it because I got a free year of Hulu with my current T-Mobile plan. But $10 a month is, more than I want to pay for something where they make me watch ads anyway. It's all turning into cable TV all over again. It's just, ugh.
We live in the
really
most boring
annoying.
cyberpunk future.
We do. We really do. It's the worst, man.
I mean, as long as it just gave us mantis blades, I think everyone would be a lot happier with the situation, but no, they can't even manage that.
No. You wouldn't be able to have mantis blades anyway. They're longer than, 4 inches? How long of a knife are you allowed to have in the UK? I forget. I know there's a limit.
Something like that, unless you have a good reason.
What?
Yeah, everyone's carrying knives.
Well,
Unless-
no, it's got to be a... So it's,
Like you're a chef or something, right?
Yeah, or I just bought these and I'm taking them home, that kind of thing. Or they are literally part of my arms.
Well, I can't very well put them down, can I?
It would not be proportionate to disarm me.
Oh, don't talk to me about proportional.
Oh, they'll find a way.
I'll get real proportional.
Anyways, I found platinum.
Oh, good job.
Nice.
Now you don't have to be so fiddly about blowing up the drives of TTU ships anymore.
If you have the role, there are a list of various GPSs that we have.
Yeah, if you go down to the BCG shenanigans part of the Discord, Blue Set, we've got lists for several parts of one of the asteroid fields.
Undisclosed locations.
Undisclosed and indisposed. Because we had to pull them from Josh, much like the butts.
So are you going to repaint this hunter?
I was planning on it. I don't particularly care for the paint job.
That reminds me, I need to go through the rigmarole of redoing blueprints so I can actually drop things on the local machine and do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can print one myself.
Yeah, it's the same hunter that they recommended to you, Candor. I was like, you know what? As annoying as that individual can be, he means well, and he does know what he's doing.
Yes.
The ship is hideous, though. It is so ugly.
Mm-hmm.
It's so ugly.
I mean, that just means you're less upset if it gets blown up, right?
That's true. That's true. It's like, oh no, they shot one of the railguns off. Hey, it looks better now.
I mean, you know, if it got wrecked, you wouldn't be thinking, oh, let's go and take it back to base to repair it. It'll
Just
be
grind it down.
stressful.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think any other ship right now, and other circumstances, we would just grind this wreck down. But because of the circumstances, and because, you know, it's a hero ship now, we have to fix it.
Mm-hmm. And she still has a positive KD ratio.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's not even padding the stats with the large number of small grids she killed during the COS event.
I think I killed 5 small grids in Sword of Josh before she got smacked. And I did find out from, I think it was Zarius who was flying the ship that shot me up. No torpedoes hit him, but I wasn't surprised. I only have 3 Apollo launchers. I was hoping that maybe one came in, but it probably helped going, that's a lot of torpedoes coming out of that little ship. And there's a large or massive signature nearby. I'll disengage.
Mm.
And I was like, me too! Run away!
Also worth noting that even if a torpedo didn't hit him, especially if he was chasing you, then you probably got him with fragments.
It's possible.
That was happening to me when I can't remember who it was I was chasing, but they kept on dumping like 12 torpedoes in my face.
And the fragment just kept on like spinging and spanging off the armor.
Yeah, it was just 1 or 2, but over the course of a lengthy stern chase, it was slowly starting to add up.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like the fragments are a really good addition, honestly.
Yes.
Because it means that the torpedoes that get close still do something. And if nothing else, it's psychological, because watching little pieces of your ship fall off is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Although, to be fair, I don't think I would have noticed if I hadn't had my projector on and projector highlighter.
Oh, and watching the green just, or the yellow go bing, 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 bing. I said green because I can't actually see the difference between the green and the yellow on that. It's just bright. And I'm like, it's green. No, it's yellow. It's both. It's all the same.
So if it was solid lines and dashed lines, would that just be annoying?
I would probably just give someone a seizure. But no, what I would love to be able to change the lines, the colors of the boxes, like have the green be, I can build this, but it's not built yet, and then the damaged ones be blue, or blue for me would work better, but I think most people would be confused, like, why is that one, it's hurt, why is it blue? Blue is good. It's blue because it's sad.
To be fair, if you mention it, I'm sure BD could add it's already quite a customizable plugin.
Yeah, I hate being like, hey BD, this would be cool, because then he works for free, you know, and I don't like taking advantage of things like that. People like that. BD's not a thing. BD has a lot of things.
You're not taking advantage, you're just simply indulging his masochism for willingly working with SE codes.
He's kind of stepped away a little bit.
I know, but...
Which is good, honestly, for his sanity.
Yes.
One of these days I'll make it down to Texas to meet all those cool Texas people. There's like 5 or 6 people in our Discord that live in a reasonably small area of Texas, which is, you know, a reasonably small area of Texas is larger than most countries, but still, like, a single road trip could visit all of them. It's one of the reasons why if we ever do a... Sorry, go ahead.
Is this reasonably close from the Texan point of view, or to a normal person's point of view?
Also reasonably close. So the Texan view and the American view is not that much different because we're just used to... We have giant landmass and things are far away, and our primary transportation is car. So, like, people are like, oh yeah, Texas is big. Yeah, well, it's, 3 or 4 hours down the road. That's a drive, but that's not a road trip. A road trip is like 8 hours or more. Otherwise, it's just a long drive. You can get there and get back in one day. It's not a road trip. So maybe like 6 hours or more, but
I see.
I mean, I'm sure somebody's going to disagree with me in the comments, but it is what it is. Whereas, anyway, what I was going to say is if we ever do a ball and chain con, wherein we have a stuffed Josh from which you pull butts, we will almost certainly have that in Texas. Just because there are big international airports there, and there are a bunch of people already there, and it's reasonably centrally located for all the people that watch us. Although, not enough battleships. It's only got the one.
That is a major detracting factor, yes.
Like, I think most battleships in a close area would probably have to be the East Coast, because you've got Massachusetts and New Jersey are so close to each other. Plus you've got the Salem there as well. Tricky. It's tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Alien once suggested that we just rent out one of the museum ships as our con venue. Like, I'm kind of here for it.
I'm sure you had no ulterior motive for that.
No. I mean, if there's a way to guarantee that you're gonna come join one of these things, like, hey, do you want to spend like 20 hours on a warship from
yes.
the 50s or the 40s? Yes, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Problem is, I'm afraid that you're going to come to Kentucky and going, okay, why?
I mean, everywhere has a Kentucky. They're just usually smaller than Kentucky.
I mean, there's always Rhode Island, but there's more to Rhode Island than just the state.
I mean, so, I've heard a lot of people say bad things about Kentucky, but it could be worse. It could be Mississippi or Louisiana.
I mean, I've been to Louisiana, but that was like 2009, 2008.
Ooh, not a good time to go there.
Gustav went through there, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. They never recovered from that, from the Katrina and the following couple of hurricanes. There's a whole bunch of Louisiana that's still just basically abandoned.
Well, I mean, when you rely on government help, yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, to be fair, government help is there for disasters, natural disasters, is the exact sort of situation that you want to have government help in. That's the perfect use case for government aid.
That's true, but unless you add in corruption, then that's probably why most of Louisiana isn't really rebuilt.
It's because Louisiana's poor in general. It's not, and it's a swamp. Like, people lived there because there were a lot of people living there, and then when some of those towns got wrecked, people were like, I don't really want to live in a swamp, and I don't want to do that again. Which makes them smarter than people in Oklahoma, who keep on building trailer parks in the path of tornadoes.
Yeah, it's not always as simple as government help or not.
Yeah.
In Canada, in the East Coast, for a lot of years, we've had water issues on some of the native reserves. And one of the big problems is we can go and build water treatment plants, but someone has to run them and maintain them and bring in all the supplies and all that stuff. And one of the recurring problems is getting someone trained up to do it now means that they are a higher skilled worker who's not getting paid very well. They can go to a neighboring district that will pay them 3 or 4 times as much, and then they leave, and then the water plant falls in disrepair.
Mm-hmm. It's one of the big the big problems with how what we call reservations and you call what would you say, preserves?
I grew up calling them a native reserve. That's technically not the right term now.
Whatever.
But yes, reservation.
Yeah, but a big problem with is there's, they tend to be more impoverished, and so like you said, as soon as when people get educated and get skilled, they leave. And there's no good solution for it. Like the problems that led to that are so far in the past you can't do anything about it. But it's tricky.
If there was some way of like moving a couple of sliders and sort of like balancing out the parts of the US that are underwater and the parts that are on fire.
Yeah, that'd be nice. If Candor were running the US in a 4X game, we'd be fine. We would also be probably what most people consider the bad guys because we would use the military to take things that we needed because Candor would be in charge.
Well, I guess that's just how it is on my part because I guess I ate up the old stereotype soup type of thing.
I kind of like that stereotype soup. That's kind of how we all grow up though, like, because everybody's raised and they're like, this is the world as the way it is, and then you become an adult and you look at the world and go, I'm not sure that everything's the way you said it was, mom or dad or whatever adult raised you.
Yeah, it's never a...
Nah, I'm sure.
Good objective of going, nah, keep it the same.
Candor's like, no, I am the objective opinion. I am the objective truth. That's why he calls himself Candor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my father's been going off on Facebook because he's not what I would call an adamant Trump supporter, but he's someone that likes Harris less than Trump, and so he's just on that side of things and wishes that we as a country would stop picking the two worst possible people. But he's because he listens to all the conservative stuff, he's on X a lot, and now I think he's convinced the world is ending next week. Or something. It's just... I don't know what to do with him.
It appears to be a standard part of the human condition is assuming the world's about to end. If you go back to, 1,000 years, they were utterly convinced that, well, no, doomsday's going to be any day now. And that isn't they were so dumb. It was just, convinced it was going to be the case.
Yeah. We just picked different methodologies for our doomsdays. It's been shuddering along so much, barely getting by. It's got to stop sometime. I enjoy these like podcast streams where we just talk about stuff because we're doing other things. I think it'd be fun to do a podcast, but I think I would need to do more work ahead of time rather than just spout unfounded opinions on the internet. That doesn't sound like fun at all.
I don't know. I think that's pretty much how most of the internet's currently operating.
Yeah, well, I mean, you mean the minority of the internet that isn't bots?
Yes.
So, I mean... Oh! So, I know you guys might know this already, but for the benefit of the stream, I'm currently in I'm in an online school to get a business administration degree because that'll help me get through certain paper ceilings so that I can get better jobs, whether at my current employer or somewhere else. I'm convinced I can do the jobs of the people above me, but the paperwork says I'm not allowed to. So I'm going to get the paperwork that says, look, I can do your job, give me your job. But I am currently in a business ethics class. I'll say that again, business ethics class. And part of the ethics class, they give us ethical dilemmas here and there. And Well, the instructor was like, hey, I know AI is a thing. You can use it, but in very specific circumstances, and you need to be transparent about it. You need to, let me know how you're using it, what you're using it for, because I don't want you like writing papers with it or using it to avoid engaging with your fellow classmates, because we have this thing called the discussion board where somebody makes a post, everybody makes a post based on a prompt, and then we all respond to each other's posts, and so we make sure that everybody is, everyone's participating. Well, I noticed this instructor who cautioned us on the use of AI was very verbose in a very specific way in one of his responses to one of my classmates. So I ran it through an AI detector. 100% confidence that it was generated by ChatGPT or an alike chat generator, text generator. I was like, wow, okay, let's see if this is an error. I checked one of my posts and one of my classmates' posts, and it said like 98% human, 92% human. And then I checked every other one of his posts. They were all AI generated. This man's getting paid to teach a college course, and he's not teaching it. He's having a robot do it for him.
Wait. I am slightly amused by the concept of business ethics.
Oh yeah, it's a farcical class for sure.
Isn't that just code for lessons in trying to avoid being caught?
Oh, this is the class that everybody points at. But I took business ethics in school. See, I'm an ethical person. The prompt they gave me was, if formula was expensive, if baby formula was having a shortage, how would you distribute it? I was like, I'd sell it. And they're like, but what if your production team said, yeah, what if your production team said we can lower the quality of the formula and we can sell more formula? It's like, no, because then babies will die. Because if you reduce that stuff, they'll feel full but not get the stuff they need, and that's really super bad. And infants very, very sensitive to malnutrition because they're infants.
So you're basically saying that by playing Frostpunk, I've done your class.
Yeah, basically. Actually, Frostpunk probably teaches ethical dilemmas better, as long as you play it as it's intended, like pretending you have a soul as the director of everything, rather than everyone do what I want you to do because this is funny, ha ha ha. I'm making you eat your children, ha 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 ha.
I actually, sorry, I'm going to go off on a weird tangent here. I actually really like the way it's structured. So the first couple of meshes, it's almost done tutorials like, look, do this, and this is how you make your laws. And look, this is giving you a bunch of benefits. And then it's almost has that kind of Spec Ops The Line energy, where it's kind of the gamer instinct kicks in, and then before you 100% realise it, that's when you've instituted totalitarian dictatorship or a theocratic dictatorship. But it's so well paced and structured that you don't quite realise until you've gone too far.
Well, and that's the insidious thing, right? Like, humans on some level want someone to tell them what to do, and they kind of mold their governments to make that happen. Like, every time. They start one way and it keeps going. That's why you get so many totalitarian societies. It's not that there are just so many bad people in the world that want to control everyone. I mean, there is that. There are motivations. People are motivated to just make other people do what they want them to do. But a lot of it is, I wish somebody would just tell me what to do so I didn't have to make a decision. Oh, look, Alwaha, we're here. Look at that. I'm in violation of set limits. Use block limit my limit to view which limits I've exceeded. Oh, it's probably grinders. Maybe.
That's okay.
Do you have a GPS to that?
It's most definitely grinders because vendor is over here.
Yep. I will. Once you disconnect that, I will hanger Hand of Josh.
think they're now separate grids. Yes.
I'm sitting here trying to reverse while I'm sitting on the couch.
Candor, at Al Waha, you have upgraded Velter comps, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna fly vendor over there.
Oh, do y'all have GPS to Joshua House so I can get there? I got like 300,000.
It should be. I mean, Canada, you can send it if you want to. If I copy paste it, it'll show up a little bit, but it's all blurred for people. So make sure it's there.
I just
we go.
did.
Oh, thank you, Vengant.
I'll beat me to it.
I was gonna use her as the tug to fix this ship, but we can just put the Al Waha tug and attach it.
Mm-hmm. Amusingly, you're showing up as disconnected, and yet you're still moving around.
I don't feel disconnected. I'll reconnect real quick. We did go through a whole bunch of instances, and I have seamless, so. I'm just glad that you didn't vanish when you left DX2, right?
Yeah.
Well, in Moral Bites, I don't like telling my kids stuff like that because kids absorb things, you know. And I'm not telling you how to raise your kids or anything. Just my own personal thing, but my parents when I was young told me that I was a mistake and an experiment, and that I was the guinea pig. And I didn't know how badly it affected me until I was just on a car ride one day, and I'd done something wrong. I was being lectured, but it kind of came out. I was like, well, that's so fine. It's fine. I make mistakes. I'm just a guinea pig. And I didn't realize how much it had hurt me and affected me until that point. And they just kind of looked at each other like, wow, we didn't realize that you were internalizing that. That's not what we wanted you to do. We are sorry, which is the right thing to do for parents, but
I did not have any ammo for this hunter ready-made at Vanguard, so you may want to make some at Awaha.
okay. It's going to be easy enough to do.
It is fully fueled and has 180 fuel cans on it.
I can see you. BCG large sig burning towards us.
Yeah, it's right. We're just discussing that.
Yeah, no, I see that. I can see it. Chat can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite nifty. I'm very glad. It was one of the guys in the Discord told me about the resizing chat plugin because I didn't want to blur the whole thing because chat usually takes a huge amount of real estate in Space Engineers. Let's see, what's the MCRN rails?
100 mil.
Stiletto.
Yeah, the 100 millimeter.
Oh yeah, so both the smalls are 100mm, and it has the faction tag as to which is which.
You also have coils on here, so you'll need ammo for that.
Yeah, I'm building a few hundred for each. Coils are the 80mm, right?
80mm tungsten, yep. And it looks like your Redmonds and your Redfields, both your PDCs use tungsten.
Yeah, they take tungsten Teflon. It's the better ammo anyway, it does more damage. I don't believe there are any torpedo launchers on that grid. And I still have to build the second phase of its construction. But that should be easy enough to do here. But I'm also okay assisting with Hellebore's reconstruction first, because it's the name of the stream.
That's right, I'm currently trying to work out if the projector actually survived, if I'll need to slap a temporary one on.
Wow, look at all those turret tracking chips.
Yeah, I bought a load. That was earlier today, actually.
Oh, you've got a couple MCRN reactors in here too. Always good. Always good feelings. I'm just going to use Dung Beetle. I guess she's got more thrust.
Well, also the Alvaha Tug is actually sort of more towards the shooter.
Oh, yeah, because she's probably in my hangar. Oh no! A TTU cargo ship has spawned. Whatever will we do? I like how your camera survived.
Mm-hmm.
You could take vendor.
Both of them did. Which, well, they no longer use reactive displays, otherwise that would have been a bigger deal than...
Mm. Yeah, I never understood why they made them so expensive initially.
I do still need intercoms, which is again interesting.
Where does her projector go?
I don't know. I've had a sleep since then.
Fair enough. I do like the emergency beacon placed down.
Absolutely. Green to bring Josh's blessing to this endeavour.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just so I can see what I'm doing a bit better, given there's a lot of what's there, I think I'm just going to give her a quick pass through, get rid of some of these yellow blocks.
Oh yeah, good plan. Not going to merge it, or you think it'll be fine with just the block there?
I think it'll be fine.
I would turn off
I also
all of
don't-
Hellebore's gyros if you're going to do that. Otherwise
Yeah.
they'll fight you.
I was wondering why she was so sluggish. The other thing is, what I also don't want to do is, because I know for a fact that the Dung Beetle will take over the PC limit and things will start popping.
Oh,
So I want
yeah.
a landing gear to keep it down.
Good point. I have turned off all of Hellebore's gyros.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Candor, you haven't seen the glory that is the what did he call it? The angelic class hunter? I guess it's better than JoJo's demon themes, but it's a little different. But I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. Yeah, you haven't seen this yet, and you're about to, and it's like, I'm a fan of function over form, as you know, flying the Dung Beetle, which is something I built.
Fuel low.
But yeah, this is something. Oh, my fuel's low. Where is...
So I don't know if we all needed any of like a large amount of platinum or uranium, but I'd bring them in.
Awesome.
That's good. Platinum and uranium, always good. Are you dumping them into Joshua? Who said?
I'm still like 800k away, but yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, you should probably get to the same instance that Joshua has in, because what she turned into, because originally we thought maybe somebody had found this base, but turns out Candor had just unhangered her at a very inopportune moment. Things didn't work. Let's see. You should own everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is something we want to make sure of when I start building the other ships. I'm going to have to take ownership of all those welders.
Yep. I was going to do one pass. We'll finish this.
Well, no. Let's get Hellebore done first.
Sure.
I want her done because there's a whole bunch of shenanigans that are going to happen with the other ship. So I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. 1 minute. I'm just going to go and turn off dampeners on Hellebore.
Speaking of the other ship, there it is. And I have got to give that thing a better paint job. It needs more like purples and greens.
Multicolored PDCs are interesting.
I think that is functional. I believe when they built it, they colored it and then they based their PTC banks on those colors, so they could see.
That would make some sense.
Yeah, and the internals are all color coded as well, including the hot pink carbon silicate citadel wrapped around the loot container.
Could you
I had to carve into
deactivate
the back.
Could you deactivate the worlds a second? Because I'm going to be moving the blueprint around.
Yes.
Schlag.
You don't want just random bits of Hellebore attached to Hellebore in the wrong places?
No.
I had to carve into the back of this thing to try and diagnose why the Tychos weren't welding. It is annoying to get around in there with all of the like weird.
Yeah, it is not
beams
designed
or
to be
something.
repaired inside. It is-
I'm going to have to F5 because the projection isn't actually showing up for me.
Did you entities refresh?
No, I did not.
I see the
yeah.
projection.
I've already pressed F5.
Okay, well, it looks like you're actually able to connect. So, yeah,
If you want to
Using
move
your
it into
faction
place,
hanger just to reduce clustering.
yeah. Go ahead. Let's see. Where did you put the projector?
on the nose next to the beacon.
I see the beacon.
It's also green.
Like right next to it?
A little bit away, maybe on the opposite side of the nose, and I've
Okay.
just... In fact, yeah, I probably would have just slapped it down next to where the
Music all day, every day.
thingy was docked.
Looking for it.
It's literally buried here.
It's just buried.
Buried?
Health.
No, I just put it on top. Or is it inside the
Oh,
projection?
right where I am.
Oh, it's in the projection. That's why. Okay. See pitch. Actually, I'm gonna get inside one of the cockpits so I can see the whole ship instead of just guessing.
Quite pleasingly, the
After 12 string.
I don't know if it's damaged and it's leaked, but the Tycho tank is actually still intact. So as soon as we get some RCS up, it should be able to just move around under our own power.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you might want to do that in faction chat, D.
We're in an alliance chat. It's fine. Where did I put? Where? I don't even know where your cockpit is.
Oh, for
Oh, I found the
it's like
interior. I
right
found
in
it. I found it.
The normal interior is had a critical existence failure.
Well, no, I'm in the helm that I was using to help you the other day.
Wait, what? That's still there?
Yeah.
Oh dear Lord, Nibble survived. And I'm back in. So, given that one of the times I loaded back in, I found myself floating in a cockpit detached from the rest of the ship, I had assumed the entire cockpit had been completely trashed. No, Nibbles has survived.
Definitely getting a medal now.
That'd be a good mod for the server. Kind of exterior ship decorations to mark your kills.
See if that's the right way. Nope, that's folded in the wrong direction, of course. Okay, is it? Oh. That's done it.
Needs to go 2 blocks back and then one.
No, I just needed to get the so 2 blocks back.
Yep.
Oops, wrong one.
And then 1 block to the right, or possibly the other right, depending on
Is
where
that it?
I'm.
Was that the right spot? That looks it. That looks like it's
Yep.
it. All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Nibbles! Good job, Nibbles. Which one's Nibbles? Is it the big fish?
Of course.
Okay. Oxygen, everything. Yep. Still in the green. They're looking mighty fine in there. And I'll just step out. Oh, what a lovely ship. Oh, I've fallen through. Okay, you ready for me to turn the welders back on?
Mm-hmm.
I can find the welders. I think I've fallen on the wrong side of the ship.
Indeed you have.
Oops. There you go. Oh, she lives.
Mm-hmm.
That's some interesting desync on my end.
Eh?
Just watching some of the things are spawning we're in the wrong place, and like especially PDC heads were like, I'm gonna spawn over here. I'm gonna get a screenshot of this as well for you. Oh, Vengeance already beat me to it.
Hmm?
He's been putting screenshots into the
Oh, awesome.
into Discord. You'll have many options for the captain's log.
Cycling.
Ah, so much better than grinding it down.
Absolutely.
What are we missing?
We're going to be missing most of the Epstein parts, I think.
Thruster comps, power cells, fusion coils. I'll queue up a bunch. You got all the ores, right?
Yeah.
I cut off the spare beacon that you have on the front.
Oh, thank you.
See, fusion coil. Okay. 2,000 of those. Is that everything? Let's see.
I'm just going to get a little bit of space and then flip and get most of the underside, and then probably make the dangerous assumption that may be enough to actually maneuver under
A lot of
an
thruster components. Okay. A lot of thruster components.
yeah, I would suggest just going to the block menu and throwing in 6 of the Truman.
I'm putting in 8 so you have spares.
Thank you all.
prioritizing the components that you're missing. Ah, she lived. It's good.
Lived and is very, very slowly rotating.
Oh, you know what we should have done? I mean, oh, maybe not. Because she lived and no problems happened and it was a perfectly normal engagement. But just changed her color like ever so slightly. So that the original parts were just a slightly different shade.
You're going to run out of gold. I'm going to go get you some.
Ah, thank you. I think there's some relatively close.
No, I have a ton on Vanguard. I'm just going to shuttle it over.
Oh, thank you.
That works. I need to print a few more aconites for Chikari and Blue Set and all the other noobs so they can get used to ships that work. I know, I think it's He Who Types. Coldstone has been playing with the aconite. I think he's been really enjoying it.
Mhm. Oh, this could prove interesting. LNG tanker that's it's getting a bit close.
Yeah, real fast.
Yeah, this has happened to me once before.
Ooh. I think it's gonna be just outside of range. Yep, just outside of range. That's real close. Didn't get any closer than 375. Don't call us pirates unless we're actually pirating you. We're not pirates today.
Nah, boom. Boom tomorrow. Always boom tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can you double check the platinum and make sure you've got more than 3K?
44.2k. Yeah.
I have 383k in raw.
Yeah, I can see what you mean about running out of gold. There's only 600 here.
I suppose because gold it wasn't something that got used in packages, really. So
Yeah. Used a lot at Epstein's, though. And suddenly there's, hey, it's one of the butts you can pull out of Josh. Behold. She does have a mighty fine stern. I do like what you did with it.
Well, as I say, it's the phenomenon of I'll take some inspiration for a general shape, and then it'll end up looking nothing like that. Because that was I started off with something from Falling Frontier. That I thought, oh, well, that may be a good kind of shape for what I'm after. And then I thought, well, I want to put some PDCs in the stern that can fire straight aft. I'll basically split the drive pack in half, and then it no longer looked anything like it.
Yeah, the Stinger's good. I like the Stinger. I'm like, the anti-torpedo torpedoes are good, but I'm torn on their usefulness, whether that same amount of PD in PDCs would be better or not.
I mean, how much PCU is to Artemis tubes?
900.
Off the top of my head.
It's 900.
That's 900 each, or 900 total.
900 total, or 450 apiece.
That wouldn't get you 3 PDCs. I'll get you 2.
Oh yeah, look at that. I think having at least a couple's good on a PvP ship. Plus, you can always use them to huck offensive torpedoes as well in a pinch.
Well, the other thing I used them for during the COF event was just firing individual anti-torps, but at small grids.
Yeah. Because that's all you need for a small grid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. This can be no blue, more of an orange. There we go. A little bit of customization there.
Hmm?
my turn to mess with random light settings. As I just run all over the hull of your ship like some kind of madman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, more light panels. Oh no, I'm out of oxygen. No! I don't think I'm gonna make it. I might.
Your health is low. Your health is critical.
Oh, I made it! That was a close thing.
So is this the point where I tell you that you were directly over his CIC when you left the ship?
Yeah, but I didn't know where it was. I knew where this was. Oh, the colors are definitely making it pop. For sure.
Slight concern as I just go through and to stop groups being mixed with on and off, and I'm seeing activity in the weapons loadout. Does it count as PvP if you accidentally shoot your own stuff?
I mean, it's PvS versus self. Auto PvP?
The bigger question is it green on green?
This light is...
Technically, it should be blue on blue.
There are only 2 lights on the top? Oh, no, there's 6. There's more. I'm just, improving your ship, Candor.
Uh-huh.
I'm making it better.
I hate the thing SE does where it starts you halfway down a list, but doesn't let you scroll up until you scroll down a bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's not what I wanted. Yeah. Anyone looking at this grid is going to be like, why are the lights those colors? And the answer is, I don't know.
You're asking that to a guy who is colorblind? You should have known the answer by now.
Okie dokie. I think I've got RCS in every direction now. So I can undock the dung beetle.
I can grab that since you're inside the ship.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Gives me something to do other than mess with your lights. And I put that dung beetle in the faction hangar as well.
Excellent, thank you.
I'm gonna grind off this nose. No, this is still.
No, you need. Yeah.
Just get a fun view here as you go in.
Just thought doing it this way, I'm not going to be fighting the weird sort of disconnect you have between stuff that's landing geared on and everything else.
Yeah. I'm just impressed that Tycho tank was still there. Mavalite, you missed! You missed, Mavalite! Ha! Ha! That looked like a drive finish, too. Or was that just the next step?
That was a coil gun.
Oh, okay. The only thing I don't like about all the slopes and stuff are the fact that it doesn't deform and they die and leave huge gaps in your ship.
I keep meaning to extend this welder this welder line just one more, but I don't have to move the lights, which I feel I would have to do.
Yeah. Well, the welder array on Trishula is now 4 MCRN welders and in kind of a diamond pattern, and man, can you build stuff fast with that.
I do quite like the UNN ones though. It means I don't have to think too much about.
Yeah, the depth is good.
Extra. Yeah.
Mavalite says he wasn't trying to destroy the whole grid. Knock it out of the fight. She lived, Mavalite. She lived.
As I say, I believe because I wasn't sure exactly who was piloting, but I did say thank you for not killing it, because I did assume that it was deliberate.
Yeah. We just need to build, 4 more of these and go in as a squadron. That would be terrifying.
I'm in.
Or 2 of these and 2 baobabs.
Especially as I've worked out what I was doing wrong with the timers. So that issue has now been fixed.
I haven't tried the timers yet. Oh, here's Vengant, and is that smallness?
No, that'd be me.
That was my vault. I used it as a shuttle because it doesn't have a lot of vaulty goodness in it anymore.
Yeah, because the vault is in different places now.
Yeah, some of it in Trish, some of it in other places. But I did deliver the gold, so you should be able to get your parts soon.
Nice.
Awesome, thank you very much.
I will go manage inventory. This has been a nice quiet build stream. He said out loud.
Blue Set, are you over by Joshua?
Yeah, I just accidentally flew past it.
What are you and why are you not finishing?
The world wonders.
Mm-hmm. It's a longish... it's a Tycho battery.
A surprising amount of chemistry.
Ordinary power cells.
They're queued up, they're building.
Thank you very much. And I need to remember how to get back into the CIC. Work out where I am, and from there work out how to get back into the CIC.
Because you've had a sleep since then.
No, because how this interior is designed. Yeah, designed is a bit of a strong word.
Yeah, so I actually went with... have you been aboard Baobab yet?
I don't think I have, no.
Maybe we'll do a little tour later. I actually designed her... So, you know how in Deadly Salvage I wrapped the crew spaces around the critical bits of the ship so that the crew spaces would act as a blade of armor? Did the same thing with Baobab.
Huh.
So her reactors are wrapped with the crew spaces.
Literal meat shield. Seriously.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so with Unity in Deadly Salvage, so they don't have the armor actually means something in that universe. But the idea is that the crew quarters and common spaces are not going to be full of people during battle stations, and so it's okay if they get blown up in a battle because no one will die from it. Less so in Baobab, but she's got more control stations. I do think I need to throw another couple survival kits on her. Just so, since she's a combat craft. Do you have just the one on this one or two?
Two.
Yeah. Mistake I'm making, because I guess survival kits, because they're production, can be targeted specifically. Which is just a fact of life, I guess, but it's a little frustrating.
I like that on Joshua Hall there is a pink connector out of everything else. It's like, maybe I should connect to that.
Maybe.
It's pretty obvious. I'm noticing, Candor, that you're missing your torpedo launchers on the nacelles.
Yes, I will be.
Is that because the projector taking them out, right?
Yes. I believe that's being fixed, but obviously not in there yet.
Interestingly, soon it should be.
I'm just going to sit here for a second, just let those batteries weld up.
Well, it's cheap. Let's try.
In my defense for getting lost inside the engineering spaces, part of the is that I put lights to guide myself back in, which works reasonably well in the normal circumstances, but I've got the big work lights on the welder grid that are just shining straight through.
Yeah. I'll grab some girders and can I figure out how these go in? Are we missing some bits here?
Ordinary power cells, I
Oh,
think.
here we go. Oh. I'm just looking at where the Ares launcher goes. Oh no, this is a Zeus. Ah, that's why. Okay.
So it will only fit one way because the actual tube bits stick out there.
Yeah. I will go get a girder and throw that on there so you can weld it up.
That will also let all those gyros weld up.
Mm-hmm.
Ab says she's finally coming home. She told me when she left, this won't take that long. And I knew it wasn't true because she's going to be with the drama people. And there's always drama with drama people. Okay. I don't know how you've done
That's
this.
odd. I
It's,
can't
it's
put,
not. It's not sunk in one level, is it? It's
No, it should be just flush with the what's it? If you place it from inside, you can see where it gets connected up.
yeah. I'm just trying to get it to place.
That's one plane. So I keep on blinding myself with a Zeus launcher.
How did you place this?
With some moderate difficulty.
I think I got it. Yeah, I got it.
Nice.
Now I'm trapped inside your ship. I think I'm actually literally trapped. I don't know if there's a way out of this.
The entire, if you can move around, it should be completely navigable. Oh yeah.
Grinder.
So
You can just
you
grind your way
come
Oh, yeah,
towards
here's-
me.
I've got a. Oh, I found the personnel torpedo tube. I've been launched from the bow. That's the Bobby Draper tube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just confirming that I put that in the right spot. Oh gosh, dang it. Ah!
I'll turn off the welders.
Yeah, it's not in the right spot. I don't think. Wait, oh, hang on. No, it's one block down. And you're out of inner components.
Yeah, that tracks.
How many are you missing?
He has 8. He needs 40 some. What is it? No, 90. He needs
Yeah, that's 90
71.
each. And
I've got thousands at Shishula. Hang on, I'm gonna see where Hat Packet is.
I've got some involved. Just let me check.
Okay. Are the welders off?
Yep.
I'm having a hard time putting stuff from the rock hopper to the cargo containers.
I only have 62. That might not be enough.
That's not enough. I will go grab some with Hat Packet.
Is Chishuga or the HQ close? Because I know there's like 20,000 sat in the store there.
I will go to the HQ because that's public.
Okie dokie. I'm just going to run /salt because I have a feeling it's just going to end up in strange places otherwise.
Hey, Gabriel. Where is Trishula? Or not Trishula, where is... There's Hat Packet. Oh, that's right. I had to catch... I had Baobab spawn in depowered.
Oh.
And I had to catch it with Hat Packet.
As I was sitting there, remembered of Hellebore's first engagement with the insufficient reactor fuel.
I remember that. Good, I'm only 2,300 kilometers away. Engage! Hat packet, very fast packet.
So yeah,
Where's Josh
the
Cagle?
issue, which was a PEBCAC, layer 01, was somebody forgot to take into account that although the timers are set up to speak to specific torpedo launchers, of course, the torpedo launchers get deleted.
Oh yes, that does happen, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. So the timer's running and not actually talking to any torpedo launchers.
So they found out how to.
Ooh, that 2TU is very close, like 8K.
They found out how to
Oh, BD did, yes.
the
It's
torpedo
currently in
thing.
testing. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh jeez, I think I'm in Tycho.
So yes, next time she goes into engagement, the Zeus launchers should cycle properly, which is a big difference because that's like 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Which I know doesn't sound like a lot to most people, but
I mean, 6 seconds is a long time in an engagement. A
you had
a
6
pirate ship with a bounty on it has been spotted in this area.
Are
those worth going for?
I think they're like high-end TIH level loot and stuff.
Oh, okay. How long do they last?
I don't know.
Well, if you get vendor finished, maybe it might be worth a shakedown.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we're running. We got a little less than 45 minutes left. I'm very aware that all the children are very quiet out there.
Well, let's get what's his finished, because to be fair, then 99% of it has now been welded up. The rest of it I can sort slow time.
Fair enough. Yeah. Have you seen what I've done to Hat Packet? I just slapped engines where I could fit them.
Mm-hmm.
It's hideous.
Yeah.
Love it.
I only went for 2 extra, but I think I have more tanks. Well, I definitely have more tanks per, relative to what's it.
Yeah, I extended the original design with a lot of cargoes. I have 1 tank on each engine, then I've got, I think, another large inside. She's thirsty. She's a very thirsty ship.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably put a sorter on the extractor, so I don't have to do this manually. I am glad they fixed the thing where the extractor just ate an entire stack of the small cans, but only gave you 1 can's worth of fuel. I had a really interesting one earlier, so I did the support us, like you do, and I got some fuel cans, and I was like, sweet, I can use that to fill up vendor and go take things places they need to go. But I transferred 1 into vendor, and then I had a stack of 0 cans in my inventory that was still the same size as 9.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Gosh, now where am I? Oh no, I'm in the inner world. Okay.
I remember when I planned to actually build an interior to Aloha.
I had started building like a shrine to Josh, and then it got halfway, and then I never finished it, and it got torn down.
Oh, I don't think it got torn down. I think it got clipped by me in the ship.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, which in some ways it was actually, providential that you did that, because it meant that was the only bit of the station I hit, and the damage to both parties was quite minor, but...
How's your progression coming, Blue Set?
Slow, because whatever reason I can't transfer from the tanks through the connector, so I had to do it manually.
What do you mean manually?
Well, I'm trying to put the ores to Joshua.
Check to see if there's a sorter, and either the sorter's turned off or blocking things.
I am 378 from Carino. Moving at 753 because small grids are great. And if anyone, I don't know if anyone knows currently why she's Hat Packet instead of any other name. It's not because the crew compartment is a hat on top of the ship, although that's a good guess. It's because she's a packet ship. And at the time we started playing DX, we had just finished our first Expanse RPG playthrough, and Scarlett's Belter accent was very Boston, and so he was the Boston Belter, and Hat Packet would be how he said Hot Pocket. So it just there was a symmetry, and I enjoyed it. Oh, Nab just got home. I just heard one of my kids go, "Mom!" which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
When I come home, I go, "How's my family?" And I get, because they're watching TV.
Yeah, I think my attempt to produce a pleasing visual what's-its on Aloha peaked when I made the docking area look like a tree.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's been a long time since I've been at Aloha. I flew by it like 2 months ago, but I've done all of my building at Trishula, and then I built Joshua, and I've been trying to get that off the ground so the newbies can use it as a base.
Mm-hmm.
I want to encourage the newbies to build on to Joshua. Joshua is a base. She will not move again unless we need to move her. So that's just where she sits, and she's for your use, and she'll stay out of the hangar until whoever owns her stops playing, or she's destroyed. Do the solar panels not take... Do all solar panels take structural components, or is it just the big ones?
Just the big ones.
Hmm. I think that's what I'll do this week, so I'll get an aconite out for every, all the noobs. So they can start hunting TTU instead of just mining.
Sounds like a plan.
They're so cheap. They might. I think they're cheaper than like a cargo container of torpedoes. The most expensive thing on them is the coil.
I mean, to be fair, that's not a low bar.
Depends on the kind of torpedoes and how big the cargo container is. It's funny, somebody was talking about how they use small cargo containers for torpedoes. I'm like, that's it's not gonna cut it for me.
Nope.
I have 3 3x1 cargo containers as magazines in Baobab. And I can carry a total of like 2,400 torpedoes, I think. And she can take a direct hit to her magazine and fly away and still fight, just with reduced staying power. I tested it. She's one that I will not give a detailed view on, because if you know where the magazines are, you can take her out of the fight pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I can give you a tour and you'll never find the magazines, so.
You put a door in front of them, didn't you?
No, clearly I just stuck them in connectors so they won't explode. Which I hate, by the way. I hate that people do that. It's clearly not intended.
Mine was a bad joke about how everyone says it's a DE ship because you can't find the door.
Oh yeah. No, you can find the door on this one.
See, my brain
Sounds like heresy to me.
my brain just went to like this pile of explosives with like a throw put on top of it.
You'll never find my magazines, ah! By the time you find my magazines, I'll have expended them firing at you. Ha! Victory will be mine!
Which in turn then reminded me of an episode of Black Books where one of the characters' parents are about to visit, and so he's running around like manically trying to tidy up. And the woman who owns the bookshop, it's not necessarily not a bookshop, it's like a tat shop, sort of like, you know, the kind of like a small business version of like Gwyneth Paltrow stuff. It's basically like one of the side plots of one episode is there's a thing, and she's bought it to sell, and she doesn't know what it is, and she's trying to get people to guess and work out what it is, what it does. But yeah, she comes around and says to this character who's manically cleaning up, she goes, I'm going to teach you a secret known only to women and gay men. You can just put throws on things and hide all of your sins.
I like it. I like it. One of my favorite things, by the way, when I'm just bored, is I will take a hat packet and skim it through the Martian atmosphere at like 10,000 meters, well in the gravity. Busy Batico moment.
Now do it with an ice hauler, because you think you've judged it just well enough that you can go AFK and not have to turn manually.
Ooh. And that's why you're a scarier person than I am.
It's fine. Not much gravity on Mars, to be fair. And it's
No, not at
quite
all.
shallow.
Well, D&B's moving something big. One of the things that was really good about that last event is it was a great way for us to get to know the other members of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was so critical that you cooperated as a nation that it forced you to get to know people, and I thought that was fantastic.
It's like we learnt the rest of our nation is mental in a good way.
Yes! They're so crazy. Triple pulled like 2 20-hour days, I think, holding that point for 50 plus hours.
Mm-hmm.
We were in 3rd place when that event started, and we finished the event with more points than both the other nations combined. That was just...
And especially when you factor in that also added on to the one for the previous event that we didn't turn up to.
Yeah. I do hear that UNN needs more people.
They do. It's one of those things where where both us and OPA have this influx of newbie people, but I think OPA is in the best place. We technically have the most people, but we've got the most new people and people who aren't actively, like individuals or like factions that are 2 or 3 people. Whereas UNN have the big factions and lots of
it's like
factions.
UNV and VHI and one other big faction, and that's it. And everybody else is onesie twosie.
But because they don't seem to have that same pipeline, that's why they're new people joining. And then most of them don't stick around or just stay as a 1 or 2. But so I'm slightly distracted by watching another TTU come within 5 kilometers. 4.5 kilometers.
Turn on your coils.
I've hangered.
Ah.
Alright, well, I'm going to head off to bed.
Alright, good night. At some point this week, you will get... Oh, goodbye. That was very quick. Oh, yeah, I suppose he warned me. I have arrived at Carino.
Excellent.
I'll grab a bunch of the inner components nobody ever buys.
I'd love to do a feud engagement with some of the new people, get them into ships and go group hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that next week. It'll be another Nabla stream because she will be away. But I can probably do it early again. Oh. Good job, game. Good job. I got out of my seat and was outside of my ship. Well done, game. Never change, Space Engineers. Never change. Do you want just enough, or do you want me to grab a fat stack?
Don't mind. I realize it's super unhelpful.
Now that we have a reliable way to make cash, it's probably not a bad idea to get some things, but we will definitely get someone hunting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't have enough money. It says 2 billion. Oh, that's because I typed 1,000, not 100. I'll bring 300 inner components. That'll be enough to tide you over.
Yeah.
Because it's just the one launcher you need to build still, right?
I think it's a couple, but I'm not planning on building anything major in the short term, so...
And there are literally thousands aboard Drusilla as well.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to go there on stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care that much, but because I mean, I know we got UN people watching, but I feel like most people are pretty cool about that kind of stuff. Moggy doesn't play anymore, so.
Mm-hmm. I'm slightly worried / concerned to notice that Drew is no longer in the... He's still talking in the Nation Discord.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I really don't know what that's about. I hope he's just taking a break, because I know he does so much work for this server.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, if he doesn't want to be a part of it anymore, then he shouldn't be a part of it anymore. Blast out of Mars. I love being able to hit max speed at 30% throttle. UNN calls it SecOps instead of OPSEC. They have a different word for it, you see.
Dun, dun, dun.
Although everybody knows that I'm super poor now. Well, I only had a few billion. Because I made 15 on the medium ice run that I made, and I put 10 into the corporate account because we were, I guess we're space communists or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I try and maintain a float of between 10 and 15 mil. Just because there's no point in me sticking a bunch of money in the factory account to split it back out.
Yeah.
But I don't. And for most individual purchases, that is way more than enough.
Oh, for sure. Nah, you're all good, Mavalite. We do also need to go and get to that the hamster ball and turn that into a Temple of Josh.
Indeed we do. It's
on the list. Is that something we do off stream and then tour it on stream, you think? I don't know. 'Cause I'm just concerned that people see exactly where it is, and I don't mind if people see where it is and eventually blow it up because it was a gift, but I want to be able to like open it up and be like, "Welcome to the temple." But because people spawn with tools now, you can't just do that anymore. I liked it so much better when you did not spawn with tools.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a misstep. You don't want to be like Snake with his 3+ trillion. I mean, Snake is in a position to play the game more than I am, I believe. If I were to impose on Nabarine's good graces, she would probably let me play a couple hours every day. And that's not enough to get trillions and trillions. And I would rather not spend all of my free time on DX. As much fun as it is, I do enjoy this server a lot. Even when I wasn't playing, when people were like, "What's a good space engineer server?" I'm like, let me tell you.
I've definitely learned the key to enjoying it is a little bit of moderation.
Yeah.
Yes. I tend to kind of base it around whether or not I've got YouTube videos to watch, because it's one of the things that you can listen to stuff while doing stuff.
Oh no,
Whereas, you know,
I'm not.
Kingdom Come Deliverance, you can't really listen to videos because there's dialogue and thing.
Yeah, so Aldar, I'm not saying anything bad about Snake. It's just he just has a different home life than I do.
Finish a playthrough before the next one releases, which is next year. However, that's probably going to come faster than I'd like.
That's always how it goes. I remember. You know what I kind of wish I could go back to? Being excited for Homeworld 3.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited for Falling Frontier, even if it is stupid 2D space.
So I suppose the question is, how do you feel about the 2.5D of Sins?
Sins is 2.4x. I'm so bad at it, I don't enjoy it.
Fair enough. Well, I was speaking specifically about the that part of it rather than the game as a whole.
I mean, the scale of Sins is a little bit more like Stellaris, where it's so very much simulated that it doesn't really matter. Although I would love to bring in a fleet from off of the Ecliptic and surprise somebody.
Well, as I say, it's now. Well, it's always been, but it's 2.5D. So you only give your orders in the 2D plane, but they will maneuver in 3D.
Right.
And now all the turrets and weapons and stuff are actually physicalized rather than just being a static model of a turret and bullets fly out at random angles. There is a lot more emphasis on maneuver, because it's a bit like Homeworld, where they have gone and physicalized all the projectiles.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
There is something like one of the best things about The Expanse is just how they do the space battles, and it's all maneuver and interceptions, and it's so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps that their space battles, like their biggest space battle was like maybe 40 ships total. They don't fall into the anime / New Trek trap of, I have 100 ships and they're all the same and they're all going to shoot at you.
I hate that so much. And
Yeah.
I doubly hate the fact that when it's in an anime, everyone loses their minds. This is so awesome! Yeah, this is amazing!
Like
And
it's
then
literally
it's in-
Control-C, Control-V, that's what they did.
Yeah. And if it's anything else, then, oh, look at this stupid Control-C, Control-V. Oh, it's stupid. It's like, please, have some consistency.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember somebody telling me like I think it's the last season of the last part of season 1 of Picard, something like that was going on, and the scene, like it literally, like Riker comes in command of some random ship and he's like, these are the most powerful ships in the Federation fleet and I've got 40 of them. I'm like, what? I have never seen a Federation fleet that didn't look like somebody reached into a grab bag of candy and threw it out into space. What is this copy paste crap? This is ridiculous. And like, real fleets aren't copy paste like that either. I mean, sure, we've got a lot of Burks, but there's still different ships in it.
Best representation I've seen of any kind of a large-scale space battle is a book series done by, I think it's, I want to say John Campbell, but that's probably wrong. Last name Campbell. Anyway, it's called the Lost Fleet series. And he's a naval background, writes about it as if it was ships at some fraction of light speed and the time differentials they have to deal with. It's honestly fantastic. And there are hundreds of ships in his fleets, but he maneuvers them in really intricate formations, and it's really neat how that comes through the story.
The thing about time has just reminded me of another approach to things where I can't remember the series, but I stumbled across it on TV Tropes once, and it plays relatively straight, but in a slightly different twist. So instead of, yes, you can go faster than the speed of light, and you break relativity and also causality, so it's also time travel. So you've got ships coming back damaged before they've left, and people trying to send messages to each other because certain bits of the fleet can see the future and bits can't, but they also know the other side's also doing the same thing. So they're trying, just the description is quite interesting and messy, and
that's cool.
unfortunately.
Sorry, go ahead.
Unfortunately, I think the book doesn't focus on that as a thing. Otherwise, I probably would have picked it up. I think it's more about this like characters doing stuff around it, and this war is sort of going on. It plays into the story, but it's not the main focus.
.402 out from Al-Waha. Apparently I came into the instance on the wrong side. That's okay though. That's not that far at 750 meters a second. I was trying to not make it too obvious where the station was. I'm currently listening to the Dread Empire's Fall series, and that's interesting because like they have light speed limit, but they also have wormholes, and the wormholes take him between solar systems. But because they don't know, the wormholes are somewhere in space and time, and nobody knows exactly where, and they don't bother observing where they are. Causality doesn't break because they're not paying attention to anything else, basically. So they have like laser comms that go through everything, and so, but everything moves at the speed of light. And it's interesting, it's like, okay, yeah, we fired these missiles, they won't see that we fired missiles for another 45 minutes, but we're accelerating at them at this fraction of the speed of light, and all this other stuff. The author gets orbital mechanics quite wrong in some ways, because he's talking about like orbiting a star at a significant fraction of the speed of light. I'm like, nope, that's escape velocity. But I'm talking about like using planet gravity to slingshot around to get even more velocity. It was like, yes, you can do that, but if you're using antimatter engines, I mean, it's going to be a rounding error. So I just kind of like let myself glaze over that, but the descriptions and stuff are pretty interesting, and the way they've set everything up is fascinating to me. It's one of those, so Earth was conquered, and this is the society that came out of it, kind of things. Because even though, we're plucky, when you're, mid 21st century and somebody shows up in the sky with antimatter bombs, it's like, well, I guess you win.
We'll call it a draw.
We'll call it a draw.
On a related note, I'm quite excited for Stellaris Invicta Season 3. Which is supposed to be
soon.
coming. Yeah. I just really like that kind of, we're going to play a game and then we're going to construct a narrative around it.
Yeah,
which is a really
fun.
simple thing, but
Do you have jerry cans there?
one moment, I'm sure I do.
I just threw my last 12 in my extractor.
326.
Yeah, I'll probably take at least half of those. I'll
Go
fill
for
up
it.
as well, but she's just so thirsty. These little Epsteins are so inefficient. 215 out.
Well, the fuel storage is up to about 75% on here, so
I don't think I'm going to make a dent with my little tiny hydrogen tanks.
oh god, no, there's like 4 station tanks and a Tycho tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Joshua Ha had 4 Tycho tanks and 4 regular large tanks, because she was originally designed as just a fob ship. Rearm, refuel, repair.
Mm-hmm.
And Fruiting Habit is doing quite well in that role. $165 out. I think I'm going to get there just about the time the stream ends. There's been a lot of running around and talking this stream, but it's all stuff that needed to get done. And we accomplished the goal of the stream, which was that Hellebore
Absolutely.
lives. And Nibbles was alive.
I know, that's the best news.
Yeah. Like, I was worried.
I have finished the functional parts on my bore miner. I'm really trying to hold off on not actually greebling it.
I just saw the screenshot. It looks like a ship I designed because I whenever a utility ship by me, it's always just a bunch of functional blocks, and then I throw some blocks here and there to make sure it doesn't fall apart if I bump it, and call it good.
That is exactly what it is, yes.
Logistics is half this game, that's true. And actually, it's what makes this server so interesting. You have to do logi. You can't just, I'll just build everything right here. $100 kilometers out. Is it weird that I miss the old map sometimes?
No, I don't think so.
Like, I know that big spherical belt was really frustrating for a lot of people, but I really liked having the stations in their own instance, and all the and the Koth in its own instance and stuff like that. Thought that was better than what's here now. Because the reason nobody goes to Europa anymore is because T0 TIH just murders the heck out of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a miss. That's a miss right there.
And there's like a catch-22 with the trade stations, because you can't make the instances any smaller and just make it a safe zone, because you're not going to have any emergent PvP around them.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you want. I mean, people getting seal clubbed and stuff getting blown up when it can't defend itself isn't great, but
I mean, if there weren't seal clubbers, I wouldn't be able to blow up seal clubbers.
well, exactly. And it's, again, it's one of the main things of driving emergent PvP rather than having to plan everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason it would be simpler to keep people happy to have them in their own small instance and just disable PvP in them. But you can't do that because you'd end up with a tiny, tiny little bubble and a fast zone that you can't fight in, and then you get into a catch-22 of, well, then we're going to have a bigger zone around it, and then having to have two sets of instances. And
no, I know why they did what they did. I understand. I just miss the old one sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's not like this is worse. Like, I like not using Epstein stabilizers. I like just being able to go 15 kilometers a second. Ooh, that's cutting it pretty close to that rock. Ooh. Maybe a kilometer away? Maybe?
It's adorable. You think that's cutting it close?
On a astronomic scale? Absolutely, that's cutting it
Candor
close.
and I know what cutting it close is.
Well, Candor knows more than anyone. I was watching him as he plowed into an asteroid with his ice hauler at 350 meters a second. There was nothing left.
I'm speaking of the ring gate incident.
Mm-hmm. I was picking up what you were putting down.
I don't know that I know this.
You were there with the blockade run. And
Happened on a stream.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we were so close that it was kicking up dust on Vengant's hull, the RCS on my ship.
Is
It
this
was
mod
like the
called
width
Flight
of-
Vector? Yes, it is.
It was like the width of a PDC away.
So about as close as you cut it when you were piloting Artemis out of that scene.
Oh,
in
we're
Deadly
closer
Salvage.
than that even.
Wow. I was positive you're going to hit the asteroid. I was like, he's hitting the asteroid. He's going to hit it. He's going to smash into it. We're going to have to do another take. And you're just laughing. Just laughing and having a great time.
Who's piloting that shuttle? He's a madman, and Londo's just giggling.
Such a good show.
Mm-hmm.
I want rotating bits that don't break the game. I want to build a Omega class destroyer.
Well, I think I'm going to head to bed because my brain is slowly turning to mush.
Yeah,
we are
yeah,
nearly at the
you're
end
up
anyway.
very, very late. I have delivered the inner components,
Thank you very much.
and I think we're probably going to call it here too, because I can't really accomplish anything in the rest of the time here. So, it was a pleasure flying with you folks. It was good conversations, and we got good stuff done.
Absolutely.
We invalidated someone's attempt to kill your ship. Yes, I know. We weren't trying to kill it all the way, but we took their victory away
Mm-hmm.
and made it into a story. All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, everybody.